is called the Club Coaching Team, which will be headed by our District Club Retention Chair, past District Governor JJ Letargo. And the purpose of this team is to conduct trainings and and to conduct trainings and mentorship to all our potential club coaches. Now, as I look at our district, I am very at awe of how rich our district is in terms of leaders. When I go around club hopping the past few years, during at least during the time of the pandemic, I have noticed that we have so many seasoned Toastmasters. Many of you are past presidents, past VP education, past area directors, past division directors. And even in the midst tonight, we have so many past district governors who are continually very active in helping our clubs. And that is one of the main purpose. Our first topic tonight, we will be talking about how you can help the district this term. Especially now in the pandemic, we have many clubs that are struggling in membership, struggling in their online platform meetings, and struggling, in having quality club environment. And we need veteran Toastmasters who have track records, experience to share to these clubs in hoping that we can help this club in achieving excellence. Of course, later on, we will be also asking our new club growth director, Nino, to share to us the benefits and incentive the district will be having for our clubs and our members in terms of achieving in sponsoring new clubs and in how we can improve our club's membership. What are the plans for that? So once again, thank you for coming. I really hope to have a fruitful discussion and town hall meeting with all of you tonight as we share ideas, as we work together towards a better district. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Annette.
Thank you very much, District Director Richard Cuajo. I love that you mentioned that we are working together tonight to have a better District 75. And of course, how can we do this? We would need a lot of club coaches and a lot of mentors. Now, who is better to speak to us about this topic than a 26-year Toastmaster? She is a member of 5 clubs and currently the president and CEO of Musen Corp Consulting Incorporated, a definite leader, also a plantita. And if she is stuck in an island, you can guarantee that you will survive because she will be bringing with her a Swiss knife, a water bottle, and a book, Idiot's Guide to Survive in an Island. Let us welcome past District Governor, Distinguished Toastmaster, Katrina Letargo.
Thank you, Annette, and a pleasant evening, everyone. Let me share my screen for tonight's session. And I'm so happy that we have here in our midst a lot of seasoned Toastmasters who are also very much in love with the organization. Otherwise, they will not spend their Saturday evenings with us. So tonight, let me share with you some of the things that would equip us as well. So our district director, Richard, thought of creating a club coach, club mentor team for us in the district so that there would be a group who will help equip our fellow Toastmasters and members. Because one of the noble purposes in Toastmasters is to empower people or our members to become effective communicators and leaders. And for our district, we need to make sure that the clubs that are already existing and even the new clubs being built are being supported and that they are achieving excellence. For the Toastmasters here, I have noticed that a lot of clubs really excel because our number in terms of distinguished clubs far exceeded the Smedley requirement. So by training now our club sponsors, mentors, and club coaches, we will ensure that the members will receive the full benefit of their membership in Toastmasters. At the same time, we would want to make sure that the new clubs built, I think there are 24, 25, and still counting, okay, will have a strong foundation. And for some of the clubs who are struggling because of our situation right now, we would still give them the support they need. So I'm pleased to present to you the club retention team. First and foremost, our past District Governor, Gina Mapua, Distinguished Toastmaster. I'm not sure if you can highlight her. She's there. I saw her name. We also have a past Division G Director, Remy Ibay, Distinguished Toastmaster. We also have past Division K Director, Ed Perez, Distinguished Toastmaster. We also have a Perennial Club Mentor, not only for clubs but also champion speakers. We have Distinguished Toastmaster Jeff Garcia. From the Visayas, we have Distinguished Toastmaster Nick Paklibar. And from Bacolod, we have Distinguished Toastmaster Gay Marichu. And from Mindanao, we have Distinguished Toastmaster Renel Lizada. We have Attorney JP Asong. And of course, we also have Susit Hernandez. If you've noticed, these are the people who's been recommended to be part of the team. And for those coming from the different divisions, these are very familiar faces to you because they have served in their capacity as division governors or directors and have served the district as well for quite some time. So for Toastmasters Club Coach Program, we need experienced Toastmasters who can assist in rebuilding the club membership and restoring club quality. So these are the things that would mean for a club coach to be successful. Remember, to be successful, they need to build rapport with the club leaders and members, instill enthusiasm, camaraderie, and structure within the club. We are following standards from Toastmasters International, and we want to make sure that the structure, the quality would remain. Of course, you will also assess the club environment. Remember, we always say that every club has their own club culture. We are currently having our club officers training, and the clubs are, of course, required to create their club success plan. And of course, to encourage the club to achieve the DCP recognition. Of course, as a coach, you will receive credit as long as the clubs would achieve the distinguished status or higher. Okay, so given that, here are the guidelines and requirements from Toastmasters International. Okay. So the club coach may only be assigned by the district director or the club growth director. A club must have at least one. I have seen some clubs who are not in good standing because the club has paid, but they have one member or below 12 members. Now, there can be two coaches that can be appointed to a club, and the appointment lasts to June 30 of the current program year. So, to be appointed for that role, you must be a paid member in good standing with Toastmasters International, and you must not be an existing member of the club at the time of appointment. So, what is our group for? That doesn't mean that we are the ones who would be coaching the clubs. Consider us as the one guiding those who would be applying as club coaches. So here are some guidelines that I would like to share with everyone. So everyone here in this meeting or those people who would like to serve as club coach or even as club mentor must register. So later, our district admin manager, Joy, will be sharing the link where you can register to signify your intent to serve as club coach. Then us, the team, would be training all of these club coach applicants. Now, this is the twist. Okay? We would also want accountability and a very good relationship with the club coach with the club they will be coaching. So after the training, then the club coach applicant will be interviewed by the club president. Oh, I forgot to write the vice president for education. So it's club president, vice president for education, as much as possible if they can also be joined by the area director and the division director. Why suddenly they need to be interviewed? There are cases wherein a club coach is assigned to a club, but the club never saw the club coach, never talked to the club coach, or somehow they don't get, you know, they don't get well or they don't have a good relationship with the club coach. So we must make sure that the club coach, before being assigned to the club, at least the club knows who the person is. Then after that, if the club gives us the go signal, then that's the time that the district director or the club growth director will submit the appointment of the club coach to Toastmasters International. But wait, there's more. Of course, it is important that we always get feedback. So the club must also give feedback on how the club coach is performing in terms of their role as club coach to the club. So if you notice earlier, in one of the slides, it was already mentioned that we need experienced Toastmasters. What does that mean? So just to put some more substance in that statement of Toastmasters, for those applying as club coach and or mentor, for the club mentor, these are the new clubs that will be created for this term based on the requirement of our district director. So that would mean that the member must be in good standing, of a club in good standing. And for you to be able to coach, you must have experience being a president or vice president for education of a club. Why is it a requirement? Well, based on experience, once you have served as officer, especially as president or vice president of a club, you know the pain of being a leader. So, because of that experience, it's easier for you to help a struggling club become successful. So that's why, preferably, you've been a member for quite some time in Toastmasters, maybe 2 years. And it would really be excellent if the club coach applicant has been with a club that has achieved distinguished status or higher. And personally, at least in the legacy program, completed ACV or Pathways Level PY. You will be discussing pathways also to the clubs that you will be coaching. So at least you must even know the Pathways program. Okay. Later, we will open the forum for questions. So here are some resources. You can also search in the Toastmasters site for some of the materials that will help you if in case you're interested to serve as club coach and or mentor a new club. The district have rewards for all of you. So if you become a successful club coach or mentor, then you will get a TM Hero Award. It's a TM hoodie jacket. And then for the club sponsors, there is also a club sponsor award. So isn't this exciting?
Yes.
You are rewarded for the work that you will be doing, aside from the reward from Toastmasters International. So I would like to share the schedule. So there's the club coach or mentor registration starting tonight. So just click on the link and register if you have any intention or interest to become a club coach or mentor. And registration will end November 30. So it's an ongoing thing because remember, we will still have new clubs. So we need a pool of Toastmaster mentors as well. So the first club coach or mentor training will be on August 21. So interviews with the club can start after August 21. Okay, Now we are opening the floor for questions, and thank you very much for listening. I will stop sharing my slides so that, or is it Nino first? The questions will come later. Okay, so back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the night.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, kasi 5 to 7 minutes daw eh.
I love that you answered your own questions, but definitely we are inspired, and I know that you guys have questions, right, about this. And hold your horses, you can have it later. We will have our question and answer open forum later on. But before that, we talked about being club coaches and club mentors. But how can we coach without actual clubs and without members to coach? So, with that, we will be discussing next our membership building program. Now, this will be discussed by a Toastmaster under 4 clubs, and he is a proprietor of La Vida Hostel. He loves to paint, reading, and scuba diving. And I am sure you will not only survive if you're stuck with an island with him, because he will have a phone with power bank, he will have a sharp knife, and if you need coffee, then he's your man. And with that, let us call on our Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Nino Sepulveda.
Thank you, Director Annette. I would love to share a cup of good coffee with you, but not in an island, but in a cafe when the borders are open. Yes, we are talking about coaching clubs and mentoring clubs. I think some of you might also want or interested to become a sponsor. So let us try to review why we are our let us review our district mission and Toastmasters mission as well. One moment.
It seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So while we are working on
Yeah.
that,
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
right now we
In the
can,
taskbar, you have to
yeah,
reshare. Stop and reshare.
Stop share.
You have to stop and share again kay we're seeing the taskbar. Oh, the ano, ang
Okay,
tawag.
sorry.
we can see all of your files there. Now we're seeing the, now we can see your presentation.
Okay. So good evening once again. Our let's go over our mission and goals as a district, and let's check who are the club builders and a little review on the club building cycle. Our Toastmasters mission is we help empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. And with that, we have our district mission, our operating manual, and that is to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. That's where our DCP comes in. And the new clubs really offer Toastmasters benefits to more people. And in every organization, new members and new clubs are the lifeblood in every organization because they just provide a breath of fresh air. And they will be, it's also nice to grow with new clubs in our organizations, in our organization. And club building is basic to the missions of Toastmaster and the districts. Yes, the district directors, club group directors, the sponsors, the mentors, everybody is included in this mission. And the district may establish club building committees like what we have with past district governor Katrina. We have now have our club retention team to really focus on our goal and support the district. And the club builders, that includes every Toastmasters in the district, the area, the division, they all, the area and division directors serve as liaisons between districts and the clubs, yes. And the area and division directors also work with mentors and sponsors. Later on, we will discuss what are mentors and what are club sponsors. And the area and division directors also fulfill duties that all support to club building. The club sponsor is someone who has a contact with the lead and our organization, is the middleman, I would say. And he creates and recruits members for new clubs. And later on, the club sponsor will work with our division directors or the area directors to conduct the demo meetings for a possible new club. The club mentors, by the way, are responsible for the new clubs. They are time bounded role, I would say. They can run clubs for 6 to 12 months for the club mentor. Remember, new clubs, they take care of our new clubs and familiarize the club officers of our Toastmasters education program. And they help also the officers to understand their respective duties. While the club coach is for our existing clubs. Okay, so the mentors is for the new clubs, the club coach is for our existing clubs. Which club needs a club coach? Well, as discussed earlier by PDG Katrina, clubs with 12 members below would need a club coach. It is an experienced Toastmaster. He is a Toastmaster who will diagnose the club who has low in membership and would recommend best practices for the success of this club. And club coach would work up to, well, 6 to 12 months as well to really focus and help on that struggling club. And this is, by the way, the club building cycle. First, we have our club leads and prospects. We contact the club sponsor now, contact and qualify. What do we mean by qualify? We see to it, we check first if they have the numbers, enough numbers for a club to be formed, at least 20. Well, technically, before we conduct a demo, it is 25 to 30. So at least we have a safe number of 20 for a club to be formed. And also, when we, after qualifying and contacting the prospect, we present now, have our demo, and proceed to the chartering process, follow up, and then the cycle continues. They will operate by its own. And for the leads or the prospects of a new club can come from everywhere actually. From TI, sometimes there will be inquiries and will be forwarded to our district. Our current members, they may have some friends who are interested in building a new club or would want to join the Toastmasters Club. Our neighbor, our friends, and many other places. It's, we also need to assess our existing clubs. There may be opportunities for new clubs like an existing company branching out to another city or region. So it could be another opportunity for a new club. And communities with more people, 10,000 people or more. And there's so many places to get our leads and prospects. And for contact and qualify, there are some club leads who we really need to qualify them, because there will be club leads that we present our demo, but later on we found out that they just want a one-time communication training session. So it's important to ask our club leads first if they are really their needs. What are their needs, and if they are really interested also of forming a club, and identify the decision maker. Sometimes the owner or the HR will be the direct contact for that club lead. And yes, after we present our Toastmasters meeting through a demo and the target process. Now let's go to our rewards and cards concerning the concerning membership and club growth. For the one member, one recruit, we have reward for each member. Well, take note, this is time bound as well. We have blue shirt for August to September, and a gray shirt for January and February. And for the club sponsors, they will also receive an award for one club, a Toastmaster shirt, 2 to 3 clubs, a hoodie jacket. This jacket is from TIA, and 4 to 5 clubs, an all-weather jacket, and 5 or more, we have free discount registration for Cebu. And the club's early bird award will be given to 30 clubs who renew at least take note, at least 15 members for September and March renewal. The first 30 clubs will receive Leon Manok voucher worth 500, and the 10 clubs in membership growth device for online meetings. And we also have our SMEDI award. I just highlighted that we have to add 5 new members for before September 30. So the promo is August 1 to September 30. This is actually the SMEDI award. We well, we have our ribbon from TI, and
Diyan manok.
So definitely, we saw that there's going to be lechon manok. Are you guys excited?
Sucks to go.
I'm sure you guys are. Toastmaster Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Nino.
I think he got
yes, I'm back,
disconnected.
Annette.
I can see him, but I think he's still having a little bit of difficulty. So while we're waiting, perhaps you guys can think of what question you would like to ask, because it will be coming after Toast Club Growth Director Nino. Club Growth Director Nino, are you ready?
Yes, I'm back.
Great. Welcome back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, loud and clear.
So actually, that was the end of we wanted to highlight for this period only promo. And later on, we will be announcing more promos for the entire Toastmaster year. But for now, we'll just focus on this period for the Smedley part until September 30. Back to you, Toastmaster Annette.
Thank you very much, CGD Nino. Now, let me see if you guys are listening. Don't worry, there won't be a quiz. But with thumbs up, use your reactions. Are you excited for our club building promos? I see a lot of thumbs up. Okay. And now let's see a heart for those who are committing to actually fulfilling and actually vying in for those promotions. I can see a lot of dedicated Toastmasters here. Thank you very much for that. And now I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We've seen some here as well in our chat box. So you can put your questions in the chat box or you can directly message us. We can answer it if you're a little bit shy, although I doubt it since you're all Toastmasters here. And to facilitate our question and answer portion, we are privileged to have a Toastmaster for about 21 years, guys. And she's a true leader. She's a member of 5 Toastmaster clubs. And she's the Global Content Strategy Senior Manager for Johnson & Johnson. Now, if you are stuck in an island with her, you are guaranteed to have a laptop, a mobile phone, and an internet hotspot. Is it to actually get rescued or to get more work done? I would let her answer that. Let us welcome our program quality director, the distinguished Toastmaster, Jasmine Encarnacion.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Annette. I answer those 3 items because we're now in the COT, Club Officers Training period, and I need those to be able to report all the club officers trained there. And at this point, I'd like to thank past District Governor Katrina and our Club Growth Director Nino for talking about or sharing the exciting news about club coaching and club building. So at this point, we're now opening the floor or the screen to questions. I saw earlier one question. I'm not sure if there are other questions. So what will happen is you can submit your questions via the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and state your question. I'll try to answer. If I cannot answer or another district officer can address your question, then I'll be requesting the other district officers to respond to your questions. So I think there's one question posted earlier from Toastmaster Joseph Duran. Are the successful club coaches from the Toastmaster year 2020-2021 also eligible of the prizes shown earlier? And I'd like to request our club extension chair or club coach head, past District Governor Katrina Letargo, to respond to that question.
I think the best person to answer that, we have our District Director, Richard, and also our immediate past District Director, Marilyn Legaspi, because it's a reward given by the district.
Yes, was spotlighted
Sorry,
talaga.
I can if I can
Please repeat the
start.
question.
Yeah. I can I will repeat the question. I think I have the initial answer. Are the successful club coaches from the TM year 2020-2021 also eligible of the prizes shown earlier? We have a different set of rewards for Toastmaster year 2020-2021. So we have Toastmaster shirts to be given to the club coaches. So do watch out for that. I was thinking earlier that the club coaches assigned last term will complete their term up to next year or 2 years from now, because the period of assignment is max of 2 years. So, but if the question is if the club coach assignment will be completed or was completed last Toastmaster year, then there's a separate reward for that. But if it will be completed this year, then you will qualify. So if you were assigned last year and it's completed this Toastmaster year, then you will get the reward. Richard, would you have additional answers to that?
Yeah, I think he just explained it because he just has explained it well. So if you were assigned a club coach last term, but the club you are coaching did not finish distinguished, you still have one more year to achieve that. So we encourage you to again join our club coaching sessions so that the club coach team can also help you mentor on how to become better club coach. And when you, of course, achieve that this term, achieving the club coach by making the club you're coaching distinguished, then of course you're eligible for the reward. Thank you.
Thank you, District Director Richard. There's another question coming from Director Julius Cruz. Club coaching and mentoring. Would it make sense to have as one of the requirements of a club coach, especially mentor, to have had finished completely at least one pathways path instead of up to level 3 only? Reason being is that there are clubs whose struggle is on encouraging Toastmaster members to finish their level 4 and level 5. This can be best accomplished through a coach, especially mentor, who has himself gone through levels 4 and 5.
I will answer that. Okay, so thank you, Direct Julius. Okay, if you recall, a while ago I have showed you a slide where if you look at the Toastmasters international requirements, they really just wanted a Toastmaster who is in good standing and paid. Okay. So the other items that we placed is just really top of our mind. So why did I mention up to level 3? Remember that another preferably that that person has achieved is that that person at least completed or served as a club officer or higher or has been a Toastmaster for more than 2 years. We should also consider that we do have a lot of seasoned Toastmasters who are still just starting in their Pathways project. Okay? So in terms of the Pathways level, I would also like to differentiate the role of the club coach per se, which helps support a club, and an individual club mentor or Toastmaster mentor. Remember, when you join Toastmasters, you are assigned a mentor, okay? An individual mentor to help you, which I hope that is being continuously done by the clubs. Okay? Because every year, every Toastmaster has a goal to achieve, okay? Whether it's in their communication journey or their leadership journey. And just in case, for this particular item, you did mention that there are clubs who struggle is encouraging Toastmaster members to finish their level 4 and level 5, then that is where the individual Toastmaster mentor can really help. So even seasoned Toastmasters welcome having even a newbie who's very good in navigating the base camp, which can help you complete your pathways level. So let's just separate that one. Did I answer your question, Toastmaster Julius? Again, these are preferable that a person has achieved so far. So a club coach really focuses on the club as a whole, helping the whole club, strategizing, helping them so that they would achieve their goals. In terms of program, the club quality of the meetings, what can be the strategy for that one? In terms of helping the members, what can be the strategy for that one? So it's coaching really the club as a whole. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Yes, CTMJJ, thank you.
Thank you, Director Julius, for that question. Now, we got another question. I think our participants, the Toastmasters, are very passionate about club coaching, which brings us to the next question from Director Dominic. If a club coach has been assigned to a struggling club, but the coach has not been performing well in helping the club, who will decide on replacing the coach? And I think this is part of the guidelines.
I will answer that as well. If you look at hold on, there's an echo.
Yes.
There's an echo. Okay, so the gadgets are working against us. If you look at the Toastmasters International site, where there's the frequently asked questions, one of the items there really states that a club coach, okay, who has been assigned actually can be declined by the club. Also, for that particular club coach, once they've been assigned but they are not performing, the club can actually request for the removal of that club coach. They have to, right? And also for the club coach who, if that person thinks that he cannot perform the duty, can also request TI to remove himself as club coach for that particular club. So Toastmaster Dominic. So that's why in one of the slides that I presented, it's the I'm giving the accountability as well to the club that they meet their club coach so that it's claro ba? It's clear that when they meet each other, yes, approve. We want you as our club coach, or sorry, so they will let us know, can we get another club coach assigned to our club?
Thank you.
Thank you, this Director Dominic, and to Gov JJ for answering that question. I got a private question, but just to inform everyone, the question was, is it possible for the area director to be the club mentor or coach of the clubs belonging to his area? That's possible as long as that area director is not a member of the club before the time of appointment. But after he or she has been appointed, he or she can be a member of that club. Okay. Another question, is there a limit to and these questions are being sent directly to me, so you're not seeing them. But I would like to state them so that everyone will be aware as well. Is there a limit to the number of clubs a club coach can coach in a Toastmaster year? So I'd like to ask our club extension.
No, I think the answer is no. There's
Mhm.
there is two coach per club, but a person can coach as many club as he wants. There's no limit to that.
Yes, technically, but I agree
It's
with
not
that.
advisable because you will
Yes.
not have any life anymore, or else you're not doing your job. Because if you're not attending your meeting,
Na
but
kaya.
as long as you're kaya mo, why not? If Toastmasters is life to you, then why not have as
Yes.
many?
So that's correct. PM or Toastmasters International does not have or does not put any limit on the number of clubs that you're coaching. Okay. Coach Ramses, one of the best coaches in District 75, said that core values come in the picture. So he is our club coach in Bavi Bicol, and he did a wonderful job in making the club at least distinguished. So thank you, Coach Ramses. I'm sure he can share a lot of best practices coming from his coaching of the Bavi clubs. From Toastmaster Director Ed Ramirez, one of our club coaches, it's the club president who could request for the removal of the club coach, right?
Yes.
Yes. So a club coach can be removed at the request of the club president or the appointed club coach themselves. Requests should be sent to clubcoach@toastmasters.org. I am putting that answer here in the chat box. So this is directly quoted from the FAQ site of Toastmasters International.
Yeah, thank you, Gov JJ. Another question from Director Doreen. What about clubs which aren't struggling yet still have coaches? Do we just let them continue on as coaches? How should we go about this?
All right. So what do you mean by aren't struggling? So they have been distinguished, or they are just, when we say struggling, they have less than 12 members. They have not achieved distinguished status or better. So I need clarification on this one. Where is Direct Doreen?
Yes. Hi, PDG JJ. So, well, there are certain clubs that I've come across which are actually very strong in terms of performance, yet based on their preference, they prefer to have a club coach. So they just it's like a support system for them, I guess, but they do have enough members. Actually, they do achieve good status in terms of the DCP points. They generally just perform really well, and yet they continue to still have club coaches. So I guess my question there would be, how would we go about or navigate situations like this? Because, for example, as division director, I wouldn't just want to step in and say, hey, you can't, continue having these coaches, because obviously there's also been a relationship built between them and the coaches. So how do we navigate situations like this?
Okay. So remember, I'm not sure if it's just in the site wherein they are still called coaches, but they were not awarded. So probably it's just, paperwork that needs to be done. But if we're talking about clubs who still want coaches, new coaches to be assigned to their clubs, but that should not be the case because their club, they're not below than 12 members, so they are in good standing as well. Okay, so there are also clubs, since they have built that relationship, these people do not become club coaches, but they become perennial club mentors. I, for one, am a perennial club mentor. And I have not been assigned as club coach to a club, but I have been functioning as a club mentor and even advisor for the club. So maybe we need to separate that as well. When we talk of club coaches, these are the appointed Toastmasters, which will be submitted to Toastmasters, yes, officially, names will be submitted to Toastmasters International. And if they do a great job, then they will have credits for their distinguished Toastmaster requirement. Did I answer your question, Division B Director Doreen?
Yes, thank you. I think my key takeaway there is maybe it's also our responsibility to educate clubs about the terminologies. Like, they shouldn't be referred to as coaches. They're either mentors or advisors. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Director Doreen and Gov JJ. From Director Rojan, after registering, who should we communicate with directly to check the status of an application to be a club coach, mentor, sponsor, to know into which specific club will be assigned? So I guess I think this will be done by the club extension chair and team. But I'd like to request Gov JJ to expound on this.
Thank you for that. So recall in one of the slides, so we have a schedule. So after the training, I said that there's going to be an interview. So once we have completed the training for our club coach and mentor aspirants, we will send and share that list with the district. So the division and even area and would know who are the available club coaches and or mentors. And we'll just now let them schedule that interview, and once the club gives that go signal, then the district director and or a club growth director can easily do the paperwork and send the name of appointment to Toastmasters International.
1 hour now.
Thank you, Gov JJ. Another question from Director Julius, and perhaps CGD Nino can address this. The question is, in parallel to the club coaching or mentoring program, do we in District 75 have a program of sustaining or strengthening our individual mentoring program within the club?
I think CGD Nino got disconnected. Yeah. Yeah. Individual mentoring is one of the topics we did actually last term as one of the training topics. So I think this term PQD Jazz will be the training team. We'll also be conducting supplemental trainings after the COTs, and definitely mentoring pathways as well as other topics that is close to our Toastmasters program will always be one of the staple topics we'll be conducting.
Yep. And on top of the training program, I would suggest that the club also look at the program coming from Toastmasters International, because when you look at the site, it's really very comprehensive the way they have the program details. I can share the details because we went through that when we prepared for the training on individual mentoring. So there's a manual for that, and I believe PID Elisa also talked about it, and past District Governor Katrina Letargo for the last Toastmaster year. So I'll be happy to share more details on that. And then, CGD Nino, were you able to catch the question? I was thinking that you may also want to provide your inputs or your response to that question.
I was cut. What was the question? Sorry.
The question was, in parallel to the club coaching mentoring program, do we in District 75 have a program of sustaining or strengthening our individual mentoring program within the club?
For within the club, I think the individual mentors that we have in our clubs can also support our new members, for example. So I think that is one of our mentoring program that would really support the members.
Okay, thank you, Director CGD Nino. There's a question directly sent to me. Is it mandatory to have club sponsor for new form clubs? Yes, that's part of the requirement of club chartering. How does it impact on the existing club and its members? It really depends on the relationship and the quality of coaching. But ideally, it should be a positive or beneficial to the club if it will work the way it should. From Toastmaster Grace Arroyo, are VPMs and VPPRs qualified to become coaches too? You specifically mentioned only President and VP Ed are qualified. Please explain. Gov JJ.
Yes. So there's the TI requirement that it's just the person needs to be a Toastmaster in good standing, and that person should not be a member of the club that he or she is coaching. Now, when we talk of the leadership positions, these are preferably. That's why it's I needed to use that term, because normally, if you have been a VP membership leader or VPPR, and yet you have been a Toastmaster, you just don't want to be a president, but you've been a Toastmaster for 10 years, but you still don't want to be a club president, then you also qualify for that you've been a Toastmaster for at least 2 years or more. Okay? So again, these are preferable traits of being a club coach, because as long as you have experience how it is to be a club officer, especially the president and vice president for education, because these are the top two challenging, most difficult positions. And sometimes if the other leadership roles are not functioning, it always boils down to either the club president or the vice president for education to lead the club. Did I answer your question, Miss Grace, Toastmaster Grace? It's something that would be nice to have, but that doesn't mean that if you're not a president or a vice president, you cannot be a club coach. But we would really like for everyone to just register so that at least you will be trained on how it is to be a club coach. Did I answer your question, Toastmaster Grace?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
So at this point, we would like to thank everyone for sending your questions. There are still a lot of questions. We're just mindful that it's already beyond the 1 hour. We're already it's already 9:05. What we'll do is we'll take note of all the questions. We'll answer them and post the answers through the District 75 Facebook page. So thank you once again for District Director Richard.
Yeah, konti na lang. Let's try to answer them as fast as we can.
I'll
answer this with a one-word answer. Okay, can a club still have a coach or mentor that is not appointed by the district. A club, any club can ask any Toastmaster they look up to help and guide and mentor them. But that person or that Toastmaster will not get a credit as an official club coach without the official appointment by the district. Who helps the interpretation of the international manual? A club coach, advisor, mentor, or VP Ed? International manual. What do you mean by international manual? Toastmaster
What
Abigail.
manual? Yeah.
Huh? I'm not familiar with the term international manual. Let's go to the next question. Toastmaster Abigail, please clarify. Will the club coach to be appointed in a division come from Division H as well? I'm thinking of the club coach training. Okay. The club coach may not necessarily come from your area or division, especially in Metro Manila. Division H is just nearby Division K or Division N or Division B. You're just subway away. But prefer, especially now in the online platform, but if we do expect to go hybrid by the second half of the year, so preferably if you're a club coach in Metro Manila or between Cebu, you can go to between CNI as long as you belong to one city and it's feasible for you to visit them.
Yeah.
But since
Richard, sorry, you may
yeah,
continue.
go.
Yeah, just to
Yeah, okay
provide
lang.
context as well, for the last TM year, we allowed, because Didinen and I were the ones who approved the club coach appointment, we allowed club coaches that are like from Luzon, coaching Visayas or Mindanao clubs. We allowed that because of the online platform. But since we're going to the hybrid or potentially in person, then we would have to consider the location in terms of club coach appointment.
Okay, so there's now an answer from TM Abigail. The manual mentioned by Jazz. So Jazz, anong manual mention mo? Who helps in the interpretation of the manual? Okay. Advisor, mentor, VP.
Manual.
As you
Are you
mentioned a
talking
while
about the
ago,
TI bylaws?
a while ago, Jazz mentioned something about refer to the website or international manual, that it's a comprehensive one.
Yeah, the resource. I think I remember mentioning about the resources that are available regarding the mentoring, club mentoring. Is that what you're referring to, Toastmaster Abigail?
I guess so. So I think that's it.
Yep,
Yeah,
I can.
so-
I'll share the link to that one after this.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I think no more question unless my PM.
There are questions sent to me. Who reports to TI that the club coach assigned has been successful in helping the club achieve the at least distinguished club? It's the club officers who should be reporting to Toastmasters International, so that the club coach recognition or award will be given to the Toastmaster, concerned Toastmaster.
Wala na?
Wow, we finished all questions. Thank you so much to our district leaders who are here, District Director Richard, Club Growth Director Nino, and our past District Governor Katrina Letargo for answering your questions. Of course, to all the Toastmasters who posted their questions, thank you so much. If you do have additional questions after this, feel free to connect with us and we'll be happy to respond to your questions. Now, I'm turning the screen over or giving the screen back to our Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmaster Annette Tayo.
Thank you very much, PQD Jazz. And of course, thank you to our panel who graciously answered our questions, and of course to everyone who asked questions. And I know we are 10 minutes past our 9 p.m. schedule, but before we leave and before we adjourn, can we please open our camera so that we can have a photo op? So we have about 4 pages, and I would like to request also the help of our district admin and perhaps PR, right, to take these pictures. So we have about 4 pages on my end. Okay. So open your
Sure.
cameras based on that smile.
Right. 1, 2, 3, smile. I'm going to the second page po. All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. Third page. And then on the last one. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so thank you very much. And now to formally close our meeting, our town hall tonight, of course, we will call again a man that needs no further introduction, our district director, Mr. Richard Cuajo.
Thank you, Toastmaster Annette. So before I end, I would like to once again thank you, Toastmaster Annette, for being our Toastmaster of the evening. To Toastmaster JJ and Toastmaster Nino as our resource speaker, and of course Toastmaster Jazz to facilitating the open forum. And now, just a quick announcement. Our COTs are ongoing. So see you guys in the next session next week at 1 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And of course, please save the date. On July 24, we'll be having our district installation and awards night. So this is where we will award the club achievers and the individual achievers and district achievers of the previous term, as well as installing the new set of district officers. So with the power vested in me by Toastmasters International, once again, thank you for coming. This meeting is adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you very
you. Good
much.
night.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Good night.
Thank you,
you,
and good
everyone.
night.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Happy weekend.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Happy
Take
weekend.
care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Annette,